to something that everybody's going to want to hear George talk about, and that is your favorite Canadian, Rory MacDonald, going up against Tyron Woodley. This is something that we also got wrong.
Yeah, I did. But let me preface it with this. All four of you fucking Rory MacDonald fans, just relax for a second. I still don't like him, but I have a better understanding of him. What he did, and now that I don't know if you had a chance to go back and look at who he's fought in the past. I think the TriStar Gym is probably very, very good at developing game plans. And I say that to say this is he came out and pressed the shit out of Tyron Woodley from the beginning to the end. And like I explained to Kevin, if you ever watch a team in basketball who likes to full court press you, they usually don't like it back. And Tyron Woodley has come out his last couple fights like gangbusters, pressing his opponents, looking to end the fight, and he looked like a deer in headlights. He looked confused. He's like, oh my God, this is real big, tall dude's up in my face. He's jabbing the shit out of me. I can't reach him with a broomstick. What am I going to do? And that's the way it looked for all 3 rounds. And Rory MacDonald did not attempt to finish this fight one time, and I don't blame him. No point of even getting in this dude's power wheelhouse or trying to get knocked out, because the dude's got knockout power all of a sudden. And there's no point in taking it to the ground to try to tap him either, because he point fought his way to a victory, and I don't fault him for it. It was a very good showing, and I think this, and like he said in his robotic, non-emotional, not really sure if the kid even knows how to smile state, this puts him right back in the title contention, and it does, because if you look at who he's lost to and who he's beat, he has one big loss in his last couple fights.
The problem is, George, it's like, you know what? It does put him back in contention. I mean, I'm not going to argue the point with all you Rory MacDonald fans, but the problem is that in this class, like the welterweight and these lighter classes, man, there's like 5 motherfuckers every year that get in contention. Like, every year that you don't do what you're supposed to do, or you don't accomplish what your goal is, and I'm sure Rory MacDonald's goal is to go ahead and be the welterweight champion of the world, there's 4 or 5 other cats coming up behind you that are now in a position to get the shot at the title. I mean, him putting it in neutral and losing a fight set him back, and even though this fight puts him back, you know, kind of in contention, I guess, there's a lot of other guys waiting in line now. So, I mean, what do you think's next for him?
Honestly, dude, I mean, if they're not going to give him a title shot, it's going to be one more fight than a title shot. I mean, he's right. He's a killer. No, because that would imply he finishes things. He's very tactical. He knows how to win fights. He's just a bigger version of GSP. And what they did is they finished the early opponents in their career that posed them no threat. When they get in against guys who pose a knockout threat or pushing them to the limits threat, they know how to game plan. Now, hopefully his game plan changes. Look, Condit's got a blown out knee. He's been on the shelf. I don't know if he's scheduled to be back anytime soon. I say he fights. If his next fight's not for the title, now I know Dana's looked over him in the past because of his unimpressive finishes. He's got to look at this fight and see that he completely dominated every single minute of every single round of this fight, whether it's in fantastic Dana White, let me blow you type fashion because you just sold pay-per-views. It's not, but I think this kid needs a title shot, should deserve a title shot soon. I mean, maybe one more fight. But I just think I don't think Dana likes him. I really don't. And I can't blame Dana, because the dude is not fun to watch.
Right. He's not fun to watch. And, you know, I mean, you said it a million times. We've all said it, and people out there have said it. He doesn't have a dynamic personality. And the bottom line is that, when you don't have a dynamic personality in the UFC, it's hard to sell fights, you know, because people are like, okay, I don't really care to see this guy fight. And now, if Rory MacDonald started talking mad shit tomorrow and pulling a Chael Sonnen and stuff, I'd be the first one to be like, even if you don't like the guy. Huh? You mean he would talk shit about other people's drug tests, fail his drug tests, and then retire? You want him to do that? Or you want him to do the talking shit part? I just pulled the trigger too fast on that, because I should not have said that before we finished, because I knew that was going to give you just more ammunition than fucking Rambo. But we're going to get back to that.